So the first five cards deal here with your love, romance, relationship sector. And the second spread, the second five cards deal with other areas of your life, as well as spiritual advice that is coming through for you. So I like the energy for this week as it pertains to love and relationship because I feel like you're taking a little bit more of a detached approach when it comes to commitment, when it comes to what you expect from other people, and giving the other people time and space to sort things out from their end before they come to you, or before they come back to you, or before they reach out to you. So while I was shuffling this out, the message that I'm hearing is, why don't you, let me know when you're ready. And I feel like this is coming from you. And you're also telling the other person, just contact me whenever you're ready. Just take care of your things and then contact me when you're ready. And I don't see you sitting still waiting around for them to contact you. I just feel like you're giving them that space. You're coming into a state of being very understanding and very emotionally mature. And you're also understanding that the other person might not be ready. They might have a lot of things that they're dealing with. So you're going to, with loving detachment, kind of withdraw from this situation until they sort things out from their end before you can decide if you want to invest. So you're not just waiting around for the other person to be ready. You're doing your own thing, enjoying the single life, because with this card, it's like this is somebody who has a lot of love to give. But they're not indiscriminate. They actually have high standards, and they're, I wouldn't say picky about the people that they date, but they know what's good for them and they know what's not good for them. And if you're dealing with somebody who's got, like, multiple people, multiple things that they're working on they're trying to sort out in their own life, then you know that it's going to be burdensome. And so you're taking this detached approach and having them come to you when they're ready, and there is going to be so much communication coming through from other people. The Eight of Wands is a card about very quick, rapid succession of emails, text messages, invitations. And the Judgment card is all about contact, initiating that contact, getting the contact that you're hoping for, and communication, contact. This is like flying back and forth. So this is going to be a really fruitful month for people showing their interest in you, plans being solidified, probably people that are coming to you and they're like, do you want to travel here? Do you want to travel there? Can I travel to come see you? Do you want to do sightseeing with me? Do you want to, meet my family, go to this gathering, this social function, etc., etc.? So with that loving detachment, I feel like it brings about, the right people on the right wavelength that would be very good for you. So the Eight of Wands is communication distance, and it deals with communication over large distances. So for many of you, you might be expanding outside of your geographical location when it comes to dating. For others, you might be going through some type of a I feel like community event. I'm also seeing a lot of outdoors music festival, things like that. And it's we're winding down towards the end of the summer here in the northern hemisphere. So I feel like there are a lot of last minute gatherings outdoors that can where you could have a lot of fun and meet a lot of new people. The Judgment card, for some reason, I'm seeing institutions. So possibly meeting through schools for those of you who have children who are single parents, or who are not so much single parent but like divorced parents. You're going to PTA meetings. You might strike up conversation with your your kids classmates parents. And then I'm also seeing like church choir and things like that where you could potentially meet like-minded people. Okay, religious institutions, educational institutions, or even meeting people through family introductions and things like that. And those are the best avenues, I think, to meet new people that are that have already been pre-screened. So there's a lot of communication, a lot of contact, a lot of invitations as well coming in for you. If you are dealing with a Virgo, and I have here the Hermit, this is the card of Virgo, as well as earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, with this Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about making plans. And in the romantic front, it can deal with a situation where things start out very, very platonically. So if you're dealing in particular with an earth signs are a little bit they're not like flamboyant about their emotions, and they tend to, hold things close to their chest until they feel like it's safe for them to reveal how they feel, until they feel like you're on board, or until they feel like they have something reliable or solid or stable with you. That's when they will make their feelings known. So if you're dealing on an earth sign, they're definitely interested. They're trying to like make plans. This is somebody who is very methodical and they plan things. And with the Hermit, it's a higher vibration of character and morality. So what it means is, I feel like, this is somebody that wants to build a future. They're not just, I'm also sensing they might have children of their own, and because of it, they're very careful about who they date and who they bring into the picture. So they're not out, looking for a good time. They're a little bit more serious about finding the right relationship partner. And they are like, they're self-aware enough to know that they'd rather be by themselves than be in bad relationships. So this is not somebody that likes to settle. This is not somebody that gets, wrapped up in bad relationships. So you've got somebody who's quite picky, and they see something in you. They see your kindness. They see how loving and just, emotionally mature you are. And they see the level of devotion that you bring to the table. And they're kind of like shining the spotlight on you, and thinking as well, this is the one I want to be with. So there's a lot of relationship building that can be had here with an earth sign. I feel like you're dealing with someone who's quite successful, who puts their career first. They might travel for work. They might be very busy with a lot of different projects. They might be very deeply immersed in their community. Like they're somebody that's well respected. They do a lot of projects with community outreach. They could do quite a bit of travel. So the timing between meeting up and being able to get the relationship rolling, that's also a source of not so much an issue. I don't feel it's an issue. You're off doing your own thing. And, that's why I mentioned, like, call me when you're ready, or call me when you're in town, or, just call me when things settle down for you. So I feel like you're giving them that courtesy and that space, and that is greatly appreciated. And they're also wondering about you, what are you up to? This is kind of like doing research. When we say do research, it can also denote like stalking you on social media, looking you up, or finding out more about you, and doing it in a very discreet, in a very under the radar type of a way, because earth signs are actually they're very direct with their approach, but I also feel like they like to, keep things under wraps, which you would appreciate, Scorpio. They like to keep things under wraps until they're sure, okay? So lots of movement happening in the relationship front. And I feel like definitely you've got somebody that's wanting to build something with you. And they're trying to figure out your motives and whether or not you feel the same way. So for those who are singles and out there and looking and, things like that, this is a really good week for you to find the right people. We are as well in Virgo season. So they're going to be coming out of the woodwork a little bit, which is great. For couple, relationship building, loving detachment, making travel plans and things like that with your significant other. I also feel like this is a card about, looking for venues, looking for places, restaurants, looking for, it's like doing the research into, where should we go? What should we eat? Where should we stop? What monument should we, visit? So like there's something thing here about traveling, making plans to travel, doing sightseeing with you and possibly a group of people. or with you and a significant other, or maybe somebody has children, so it's you and them and their children, or your kids, for example. So it's going to be a really, really wonderful week for invitations, sightseeing, and just, spending time with your significant other or people that might have a crush on you. In other areas of your life, I feel like there is some major, it's weird, but I feel like a change of direction, okay? What has not been working, especially on the communication front? What has not been working? What plans are kind of falling through? What are some of the things that we're not really anticipating? What are some things that we decided on that might have been a little bit foolhardy, or it was we had high hopes and expectations for it, but for whatever reason, the vendors, the people that were supposed to be on board, now they're kind of leaving. And then we're left kind of picking up the pieces. So I feel like there was a plan or something, a course of action that you or another person might have gone into without knowing all the facts. And this is the week where the facts are kind of laid out for you. For some of you, you might have a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo, that I feel like this fire sign here with the King of Wands, it's somebody as well that, they see the big picture, but I feel like, as stubborn as you are, Scorpio, once you've decided on a course of action, you follow through, right? You don't abandon ship halfway. And so they might have foreseen the flaws in your plans, but they're like, no, I'm just gonna let them, do it and let them learn. Not so much because they're spiteful, but I feel like they know you well enough to just kind of let you do your own thing and figure things out as you go. And I feel like you're consulting them or talking to them about, work projects and plans that might not have come out the way that you wanted. And then you're kind of like hashing out a strategy for the next time. Okay, in the future, we're not going to do this, we're going to do that. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with this major learning curve that you are experiencing, what not to do, how to deal with people, how to handle stress, how to handle differing personalities. Because with this King of Wands, this is leadership capability. This is somebody that garners a lot of respect and admiration from people, and people willingly follow them because they know how to lead. They know how to work with opposing energies. They know how to rile people up and, get people to passionately take up arms for their cause. And I feel like this is somebody that has a lot of skills, like people skills, that you can learn a lot from. And so with this Ace of Swords, this is pretty much, a strategy, a new plan of action, a new course of action, so that we don't end up in a state where people are conflicted and egos clash, and, which creates a very divisive environment. You could be dealing with an air sign that might be the catalyst for all of this change and all of these new strategies as well. Or they might have come up with a plan that didn't work, and now you're the one redirecting the energy or reformulating the plan. So air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. This air sign's a little bit on the impulsive end, okay? Page of Swords. And the way they communicate might be a little bit abrasive. Air signs are really blunt. A lot of people think that, Sagittarius are blunt. Sagittarius people are blunt about the little things. They're blunt 24/7. Air signs, when they get mad, and I do feel an energy of someone who's really intelligent, but when they get mad, they might have the bluntness of a Sagittarius. Like they can be kind of like, oh yeah, I don't need you. They say a lot of things that they don't mean in the heat of passion and anger. And I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is very intelligent, very inquisitive, but the scope of their vision is very limited to what they know, and they kind of find it hard to put themselves in other people's shoes. So, for example, if you are giving them advice, let's just say, I think our coworker Lawrence is going to do this. And they're like, no, Lawrence is not going to do that. Nobody in their right mind would do that. So they say things or they think things in a very me-centered type of a way, in a very rational way. And they're very confined to what they know. But what you know is that you have really good insights into human nature and human character. You understand emotionally what drives people. And so you also understand as well, there's that element of uncertainty and unpredictability when we are dealing with a lot of people. So some people are going to cut out early because, there is an incentive for them to stay. And then other people are going to stay for the fame and the glory. But when it comes down to getting their hands dirty and actually doing the work, they might be at a deficit. So you understand what drives people, what motivates people. Whereas this person, they have a more clinical approach to how people act, how people behave, and I feel like their assessment is not always correct, okay? So this is a really good week overall for you to reinvent, like form a new strategy, pick the right people based on what you know about human nature, strengths and weaknesses. And then, pick people that might even be compatible so that we don't end up with this conflictual, ego-driven type of environment where people get hurt, feelings are not spared, and people are just inconsiderate. Okay?